people actually wait for too long to start a new business.
Mm.
And then there's a different problem that as an investor, I'm thinking that they're the same people who built the first company.
Mm.
But what happened is that they've moved on and they now care much more about having a relaxed lifestyle or focusing on their children. And they started this new business thinking, oh, it's going to be easier second time around because now I can just delegate everything. But it's an illusion. You can't. If I learned anything from my experience and the experience of many other people, it's not easier second time around. It's not, unless there are some exceptions. Like, for example, an older, more experienced founder is very lucky with a co-founder who is very young and wants to do all the work. That's an exception. But in most cases, you have to work just as hard second time around, and they don't want to, and then they're like, I can't be bothered.
Yeah, no, for sure. I've seen that story play out, and I think you're a lot wiser on the decision making. You can hire better people, you've got better processes, but it's still an incredible amount of work. And you know, the tech sector is very interesting because you could be very smart with your capital and build the right products, and next thing you know, you've got this company in the US who's raised 100 million, and
Exactly.
and then next thing you know, they're undercutting you, and there's just
and you're out of business. And
So it's I think it's interesting. I meet a lot of people that want to build bootstrap businesses or build it more capital efficient, but the sad truth is I've seen it, what plays out. There'll be another company that comes in, and unfortunately cash is a big lever in a lot of sectors. And the second time founders, sometimes that hunger to like fight in that ring, just they've, hey, look, I've already won the title. Do I really want to carry on being in the ring? They don't want to sometimes.
But then what's interesting is that maybe a few years later, they've gone through their journey.
Yeah.
They found their purpose, something that feels right, like what you described with Bliss Growth. And then they're ready. I think timing of investing in repeat founders is extremely important. Not to invest when they're just out of the previous company, but not to wait for too long. Like I know you're very, very sensitive to these things, and I'm curious if you have any rules for yourself in terms of what you want to see, where you want to see your second-time founders in their own personal journeys, when you would feel comfortable investing in them.
I think now, and it goes back to probably earlier in the podcast, like I'm just a lot more patient and I trust the process. So sometimes I'll be with a founder who's exceptional, right? Where people will just throw money at this person like without anything. And I still have that in my mind. I'm like, hey, look, oh my God, this person's incredible. But I'm just, I really want to know how they're thinking. And I will ask them a lot of deep questions, and I'll see if they've done the work. Because at the end, like I think my job in this life is to guide people to the right decision, whether it is working with Bliss Growth or not. I'm okay. Like I know, I'll meet 30 founders every month, and probably only 1 in 50 are supposed to work with me. And I'm okay with that. But as long as the other 49, I feel I've listened to them and told them and been honest that, hey, look, you need to go work on this area still. Like it's not, you haven't done the work. And I you can speak to some of the founders that may know me, but I always say, look, I'm very honest. I'm okay having the hard conversations with them, because in the end, I want them to hopefully be on that right path. So going back to your question, I really will ask them deep questions. And not only am I asking them deep questions on them and their purpose and if they've done the work, but also on the idea as well. So it probably can be quite exhausting with me, because I'm basically challenging them on the idea deeply, and I'm trying to challenge them deeply on the work. And so it's just, but I'm doing this because I'm trying to assess where they're at. And I'll meet them multiple times as well. Like I'm in no rush to build companies. I've told my investors, like, we'll build 3 companies a year, but sometimes it might be more, it might be less. I can't, I'm not under any time pressure, and I don't have any institution money. It's all like family offices, high net worth. And I've been honest that, hey, look, this is about patience. So for me, yeah, I'm just very careful, because once I start building a company, I know this is a new relationship for life that I'm about to, not for life, but it's going to be a long, it could be for life, or it's going to be at least 5-10 of serious time. So I'm very careful.
So we talked about you being more loving, and we talked about how much you care about founders you invest in. But how do you think about the closest circle around you? Like, whom do you want to surround yourself with? And what's your logic behind it?
Yeah, I'd say my circle is definitely over time, like everyone gets smaller and smaller, and then eventually the right people come. And like my closest people are my like my brother and my business partners, and I've got quite a lot of cousins. I've got like 40 cousins, which is nuts, right? Indian families are really big. So there's like a few of my cousins I'm
When
like
you
super
say
close.
small circle.
Yeah, I know.
By
So,
Indian
but
standards.
yeah, exactly. So I'm very lucky. I've got a lot of love around me, and so I hold that circle very tightly. And you know, I really appreciate people that are just very kind, loving. They've done the work in their life. They're conscious, and you know, I really feel that the right people come at the right time, and I just trust the process. Before, I think we all want to have certain people we think in our life, but I'm starting to let go and just let it all happen. So I don't, before I used to think, okay, I want to build my friendships like this, or my circle like this, and I want this layer and that layer, and but I'm just like, I just let it be, and just enjoy that process. Just let it happen. Just watch the movie take place.